Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back. Today we are getting back to work on this crazy kick guitar. Not gonna lie, I'm getting kind of sick of this build. So, as most of you will probably know, this is a kit from TomTop. It's made by Muslati, I believe. At least that was the name on the box that it came in. Very interesting shape, really cool, hollow body, no tone block down the middle. Thing weighs like half a pound, made of very thin plywood. It's kind of a piece of junk. Like, don't get me wrong, it looks cool. It's got a decent flame maple veneer on it, and I think I can turn it into something useful, playable, and interesting. But the quality control on it was very poor. The parts that came with it, especially for the bridge hardware, didn't really make sense. And the neck has some problems such that I think I might actually replace it with a neck that's not at all designed for this guitar. Because why not? Ooh. Anyway, today what we're gonna do is hide some of these glue lines that are still on this veneer because, well, it wasn't glued on entirely 100% the right way, so there are some glue lines there. A couple glue lines around the edges too. I'm gonna do some creative nonsense to try and deal with those in a way that looks interesting. And then we're going to get to work on our water-based finish for this. So this is the guitar that we're doing the full water-based finish on. And in fact, I'm using water-based paints to hide those glue lines. Everything that's been done on it so far as staining, also water-based. So we've got our interesting dye on the front. We've got a black dye on the back that shows this kind of maple green pattern coming through. Yeah, water-based. I'm also trying to avoid using any kind of power tool or compressor or anything like that on this one. So the fact that it's water-based and it's being done with brushes and stuff by hand means that you can basically do this finish at home, pretty much anywhere. It's not going to smell as bad. It's not going to be as toxic. It's a safe, relatively simple finish. It also means that I can't airbrush it or anything like that, which is unfortunate because typically that is how I would fix these kind of problems. So we're dealing with some glue lines in here. Obviously this one's the worst right on the front. You will have seen me attempt to fix this with pencil crayons before, which actually kind of worked out okay. It got rid of some of the other glue spots, but this one's just pretty aggressive. And then where the binding is glued on, there are some issues there. What I'm gonna be using to deal with this, I've got an auto air, that was backward. I've got an auto air pearlized red that I'm going to use to do kind of a weird thing in the horns because I feel like being strange today. And I've got an auto air, no, that's a lie again, Wicked Colors Pearl Orange. Did I say orange? This is red. I really think I messed all that up and should film it again. But anyway, probably not going to. Pearl red going in the horns, pearl orange for this glue line. And I'm going to apply that stuff in a bit of a spongy textured way using a foam brush. Then we're going to come in with, where the hell, our rock hard waterborne brushing varnish, which I'm very excited to put on here from Bellin. And finally, water clear acrylic. So this is a gloss spray can. This is going to do our top. This, because it's an aerosol, you shouldn't be doing in your kitchen, but the rest of these, really not so bad. As usual, if you want either of these Bellin products, they are available, I think, through the Amazon link in the description. But if not, check out Bellin's website. You can figure out where you can get them. And if you're in Canada, Richelieu, that's like the only distributor of Bellin products that I've been able to find in Canada. All right, let's get started here. We're going to use the orange first. We're going to do this glue line. That's my plan. This stuff dries very quickly, is very easy to use, and may or may not come out of this bottle. Okay, perfect. I just squirted some of it on the table. I'm gonna load up just the tip of my brush here. Go ahead and paint right over this line. That looks ridiculous. Yes, this was a very odd choice. I don't know why I did this, but anyway, I'm going to avoid the binding, even though I could just scrape it off again if I got it on there. I'm going to broaden out this line a bit. So this stuff is mostly opaque and has a little bit of sparkle to it, which is why I thought it may look interesting on here. And I will tell you right now, interesting is not the right word. It looks like a failed makeup job. So that's not going to work. Great. Now what? Screw it. It's already a mess. Let's try it in red. So this is also pearl. Also has a little bit of sparkle in it. Now it looks like a failed lipstick job. What was I thinking? You know what? Clearly I should have just taped off and painted a black line down here. But since we've done this, I'm going to just go ahead and rub a bunch of this in and turn it into a slightly less transparent, slightly more red, and slightly sparkly finish, because I apparently have lost my mind. You may be wondering what I was thinking there. Yep. Anyway, the guitar is red now. Red, yeah, not orange anymore. The rest is still black, except for some interesting, if you can call it that, streaks of the red that I've put along the sides. Keep in mind this was a pearl red. You can still see the flame maple stuff through it, but it's slightly more opaque. The glue lines are slightly less obvious, which is nice, I guess. Well, if that's a positive, I suppose. And also, there's a little bit of sparkle to it, so that's interesting. Yeah, just shoot me. Anyway, let's get to something useful. The Rock Hard Waterborne Brushing Varnish. This material is not classified as hazardous by the Globally Harmonized System, GHS, or by Occupational Health and Safety Administration, Safety and Health Administration, whatever. It's not hazardous. So let's get some of this on here, because this is something that you can apply with a foam brush, a couple bucks, foam brush, and like pretty much anywhere. I mean, yeah, let's start with the back, and let's have a success somewhere in this video. Let's have something go right, shall we? He says as he goes to open a can with a popsicle stick. Haha! See? There we go. enjoy the little things. Take the win. Take the win when you can get it. All right, so this is your waterborne brushing varnish. I'm going to stir it up. I'm going to get a tongue depressor instead of a popsicle stick because I can't reach the bottom and there are probably some solids down there. So we want to make sure that we mix all of that in so that we've got what we need in this finish. We've got all of the solids mixed in. I stand corrected. There's really nothing in the bottom and the popsicle stick would have worked fine. Anyway, you'll notice that this looks completely white. Don't panic. That is actually very typical when it comes to waterborne clear coats. Any kind of water-based finish like this, if you're using polyacrylic or something like that, you'll notice that it looks white to begin with. So once we get this, I hope my microphone wasn't screwed up there. Once we get this on here, it's going to look clear. I'm just going to use the foam brush. I'm going to brush a coat onto the back. We're going to see what it looks like. I'm going to bring the camera in closer here and stop talking. Let's get to work on this. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, this surprises me. The varnish is taking off the black dye that was already in there. It is lightening up those areas. So yeah, I did not see that coming. And what we're gonna do is roll with it. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna roll with it. What a night. Holy. Anyway, I'm going to continue to use this on here using the brush. You are supposed to brush in nice patterns and overlap and all of that stuff. I'm going to do a very streaky look on it to give it a kind of distressed, worn, aged look, which will work fine with the satin. And then we'll see how this stuff performs on the front where there's actual paint. Should be an experience. So let's keep going. Let's do the back. Let's give it this distressed look. We'll scrub a little harder in some areas and brush very gently in others to take more paint off in some areas than others and see what we're left with. I think we're going to end up with a cool distressed look that may or may not look like I meant to do it at the end. So this doesn't happen to me all that often. Anyway, let's get going. Well, we rolled with it, and I think it's going to look okay. But now I have to scrape the binding again, and that is my least favorite part of this. So I'm not going to do this on the front. Forget it. I'm just going to spray this stuff. That's how I'm going to finish the rest of the guitar. That's what's happening. Yeah. Now I got to try and get the bit of black dye out of my varnish before it ruins it. So.